Welcome to this Rask Education soundbite.
Please remember that this contains general financial advice only and does not take into account your objectives, financial situation, or needs.
Please read our financial services guide, that's an FSG, to learn more about the services we provide.
To take our free courses, visit the Rask Education website.
Here's the soundbite. So, what are some of the big changes that you've seen in the world of work? And this is going to be very relevant for a lot of people that are in lockdown. We're in lockdown as we record this, since the last time we caught up, which was just over 6 months ago.
Well, I think, like everyone who is going through this experience, what I'm seeing is the same as what everyone else is seeing, and that is that, unfortunately, the office experience is almost over, and we're a long way from stabilising. Things are a long way off stabilising. You know, what the office looks like in 2022, we're not going to have any idea until we get closer to that date. And I think there's a couple of really interesting things here for us as employees and as individuals, and that is that we need to determine at least two versions of our own work typology, and that is how you're set up at work, how you're set up to deliver. And many of us already now have a setup at home that's pretty efficient, that feeds into our productivity, albeit with some distractions. We probably have some idea about what the office is going to look like when we go back in, but I'd suggest having a third way of doing things that's going to allow you to be consistent, and from a business continuity point, allow the team's experience to continue. So I feel like having at least two, probably three workplace models, work typology, ways of working is a really good thing for us to be thinking about now, because when this micro outbreak, settles down, we might go back into the office, but why not have a third space that you can go to where you can be uninterrupted for some kind of consistency? I've been working from home like everyone else for the last year and a half. I'm even thinking, I'd love to be in a co-working space for at least 3 days a week when things open up, because I just frankly need the stimulation, need to be around adults and stop talking to myself, kind of thing. So having ways of working that are set up to allow you to concentrate, to do your deep work, to collaborate, whatever that looks like, be quite purposeful about three different ways of doing things. So I think that's a really interesting thing that we're all probably doing by default, but being more intentional about that, I think, is an important thing for the next 12 months. And secondly, I think we all know for sure that COVID fatigue is real. And I'm seeing a lot of disengagement, as we all are, with teams. And I think, as leaders, we need to know when to leave people alone. And I'm saying to a lot of my colleagues who are running big teams, you've got to reduce that cognitive load however you can, and you've got to leave people alone. Don't put anything else in front of them until they've been arrested through the Christmas holidays, for example. I think that we'll see many large financial services institutions mandate 2 to 3 weeks off for their staff. I know I'm hearing this from HR directors already. And that's because business realised that their duty of care now extends well beyond the 9 to 5. They're looking at wellbeing as a competency, and in order for people to build wellbeing as a competency, they need to be rested. We cannot deliver effectively and consistently when we've been asked to do so much more than we ever have in our entire careers in the space of 18 months. So I think that if you work for a big bank, expect to be rested, expect to see a message come through saying, everyone is having 3 weeks off. We are shutting the doors for a couple of weeks because we know people need to be rested. And I think that there was a recent study done where there was a profound amount of annual leave banked up. Everyone's banking their leave because, of course, where are they going to go? But we can't expect to work straight through and have any energy. So I think we can expect to see that coming our way over the Christmas break. So office experience, a long way off stabilising. That means we need to take more responsibility for our workflow. So divvy up and decide on 3 work typologies for yourself, and then expect to be rested and take that opportunity to really do as little as you can. Don't sign up to the usual big events around Christmas. Give yourself the time off to shut down. That'd be my observation, which I'm sure is shared by all of your listeners.
Thanks for listening to this Rask Education soundbite.
To achieve mastery of your personal finances and kickstart your investing, take our free courses on the Rask Education website.
Or tune into the Australian Finance Podcast for full educational episodes.
We're on every major podcast feed, including Apple, Spotify, Google, Castbox, and more.